Ask Amy, 30 Seconds with Amy, and feedback for Amy. It's the Amy Show. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do. Should have made you do it if it's your show. Hi, Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hello, darling. Evidently, I'm the feature of this fucking show, so I better be pretty good, I guess.
You are. I have questions for you. I have feedback for you. And what was the last one? Oh,
Start.
30 seconds with you.
Inquire. Query. Test. Challenge. I'm here for it all.
Well, this is the earliest we've ever just jumped off the bridge and gotten started. So here goes. Amy,
yes,
I have had, dear Amy, people have written in with this question before. We've danced around it, but it happened to Melissa this week, and I just have questions for you, and maybe you can help me with I almost finished that sentence with what's appropriate, and I don't know that anybody comes to you necessarily for what's appropriate.
Not me.
Well, here goes. For Ask Amy this session, somebody comes to your house to do work. I put air quotes in there, which is stupid because it's an audio show. A repairman comes to your house to do work, whether they're changing the filters in your water system, or they are repairing your Peloton bike, or you might have a different answer for in-house questions and out-of-house workmen, things like that. But what is your answer for, do you watch him work? Do you plug him in and leave? What is your role after allowing this stranger into your home and encouraging the dogs not to eat them? What happens next for you? Do you walk away and say, well, here's water. Let me know if you need anything?
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate, to the point where we've had 3 visits by a grossly incompetent washing machine repair tech.
Fuck you.
I use the term as loosely as one can use it. I actually said, please don't send this same person back. He is incompetent. I do not want this person. Then every time, and he walks, right? And plus, he's got a massive attitude because he knows he's fucked it up 3 times in a row, and I'm angry, and I've asked for someone else. And in the house he walks, up the stairs he goes, and I just go about my business. And then a couple of bang, clatter, flacker, later, and I just say, here's your check for another $380 million. Bye. Hope it works. Did you test it? But did you really test it? Because last time you tested it, it didn't work. No, I tested it. That's it.
So wait, you're paying 3 times to have the same thing fixed again? Stay with me. Again. One more time. And again?
My riveting washing machine story is not worth our time here, but I will tell you, on first visit, he did not accomplish the job. So second visit was to repair what still didn't get done on first visit. And by second visit, he found a new problem, which I guess wasn't there as part of the first problem. So I'm like, yeah, either you didn't know what you were doing then, and
or
you double don't
else.
now.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah. So first visit paid, still broke. Second visit comped, still broke, and need a third visit because we've ordered a whole nother part, which comes in for third visit, installed, paid for, looked at him sideways, and actually it was fourth visits. I forgot there was another visit in there because I was so hot at this point. I was like, why didn't you put this in the beginning? Did you overcharge me for the first? I mean, it just goes on and around and around. So the bottom line is, washing machine is fixed. So, yeah, I don't watch him work. I guarantee you, if I had watched him work, I would have thrown him out the fucking window. Because I know more about the washing machine at this point than he does.
Well, I can guarantee you certainly did not tip him for all 4 of those visits. I would say you tipped him.
Never. I would never tip a washing machine repairman, ever. We had an we had the world's best washing machine repairman and everything. He's general appliance, it is actually a chain, I'm sure. It's called Convenient Appliance. And the old timer that they had there was like Elaine's boyfriend, Putty, on Seinfeld all those years ago.
Yeah.
You present him with any technical object.
Yeah, I got it. I'll do it.
He immediately knows and is like quoting the instruction manual. It was a misprint. Here's what you need to do. Like he knows exactly every fucking thing to do. He was the best. Then he retired. And now this fucking ass clown has to show up at my house who doesn't know how to unlock his own fucking car door. So in any event, yeah, I was so, we got into it before we realized old timer gone. But yeah, any repair person who comes to the house, they're greeted with, let me show you to the problem. And now I will see myself out. That's it. They could be up there robbing me blind.
Yeah, that's the
no
other
idea.
thing. Yeah, that you just allowed.
Idea.
Yep.
None.
So working backwards, I ask you as a fellow XX chromosome human to say, because we've talked about previously, if a man were home, not only would he pound his chest and watch him work, there would be snacks. There would be, like, I offer a beverage when you come in. I excuse the dogs. I do the typical, but it depends for me on where the work is happening. Of if I am close by or...
Ain't nobody watching a repair person work. My husband has never watched a repair person work. My husband is only occasionally summoned when there is an issue with a repair person because they call and they'll say, ma'am, because I'm normally the one who scheduled the shit and then they walked. And I'll have to say,
I don't know.
I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it because he's here on the first floor and I don't even want to say it. But I'll have to say, Brian, and then
if he comes in now, I swear.
And then if he comes in now, I swear to you,
it would be the first time he answered you, the first time you called him. If he comes in right now,
no, I don't know if it's a quirk of our relationship. If I have stumbled somehow into a place I don't belong, I certainly don't wish to be in the universe of managing all household repairmen. I don't. I've also stumbled now into auto repair. I now have a personal relationship with the folks at the service department for decades. This was never me. This was always my husband. They would call and refer to me by the wrong name, and I gleefully allowed it so I could get out and not have to. No, now I'm the one saying, if you're going to wash the car with the same quality you did the last visit, I'd prefer you don't wash it at all. And what do you think he said to me when I said that?
What happened? Okay, we won't wash it. We're
out.
He did. We're out.
He did say, I think it's best we don't wash it.
Wow.
And I because the wash was so bad, it was as if they had taken a greasy rag and wiped it on the windshield.
What kind of
it was
rag?
hard to get home.
What kind of rag?
A greasy rag.
No, I love every once in a while my daughter and you both fall into this, like all of your R's disappear. I love your speech patterns, which is why I said podcast with Amy. Yes, 100% yes.
I don't know what to say about any of that other than they didn't wash the car. And he should have been more embarrassed about it than he was. I think I come off sounding like the bad person here. I called him back. I need to clean this up. I called him back after the bad wash last time, and I said, I just want to let you know, I think something happened with the team that washed the car because it's never been like this, and something's really bad. And honestly, I can't take it through a commercial car wash because of the rooftop carrier and this and that and the other. I said, is there any way I could just
come
back over there?
ceramic wrap that we put on it to keep it from...
Is there any way I can just come over and you guys could squeeze me in for a wash today? Can I possibly do that? And he was like, I would love to. And unfortunately, I can't. It's not going to be until like late next week. So already I'm like, what is wrong with you?
To wash a car?
Right. Oh, and I remember what it was. This is getting really weird. There was blood all over the car. I'm sorry. There was blood all over the car and I wanted the car washed. Okay. And this is not the story I wanted to tell. I didn't hit nothing. And I walk out to my car and there's blood.
3 hobos are missing now.
There's blood all down the side of the car and up the back. And I didn't like it. And I thought, why the hell there's blood on my car? And I was looking and I thought, I could have hit something and popped it and not known, right? So after some careful,
CSI,
thoughtful diagnostics,
yeah,
I learned that my husband had returned very late from a lacrosse tournament and happened to tell a tale of following behind a car on the big old highway that struck a deer and spun around and all the other cars. So it was one of these things like, we're grateful we didn't hit anything. But the splatter from that nonsense must have painted the undercarriage, and he didn't know because it was dark. And it went all the way under the car and up the back onto the back windshield. That's how much blood there was. And this was like a Monday coming home from school, and I'm like, why I got all that blood on my car? And then I thought, I can't be driving around the bloodmobile, and they weren't gonna fucking take me.
You know,
right?
I give blood every 60 days. They have a bloodmobile. They have a bloodmobile. It's a real thing. It's not your car.
You're not like this. I don't think it's a splatter.
No, it's on the inside. Right. The blood's on the inside, not the outside of the car. That would be silly. That would just be silly.
Mariska Hargitay is standing on the side.
Yes,
of the
that's her name.
Yes. That is her name.
No.
I told you I work hard on it.
No.
That is 100% her name, and she's retiring this year
Mariska
after
Hargitay.
60,000 years of. That's what I said.
Okay. We'll do a playback, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm absolutely right.
Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay. Okay. Okay.
Hey,
tell everybody.
As we're
tell everybody
discussing
what you know.
how you are
my
not
washing machine.
are not absolutely right, as we are discussing this, I want to be clear. When I say, dear listener, please write in and tell us,
oh God,
and we say, not that you will anyway, I get feedback. Our dear friend Karen wrote, topic of the whole thing was beans. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Who's taking shrapnel on this one? And is it all over the bloodmobile? What is happening?
Who's named Karen, number one?
She's fucking delightful. She writes, I have never in my life stuck my hands in beans at the store and never bought beans from a barrel at a grocery store.
Well, then there you have it. Mariska Hargitay. There you have it. There you have it.
I don't.
There you have it.
I proved
Don't
my
tell
point,
me.
and there I have it.
No, you didn't prove nothing, Karen. No, you sure did not. Okay.
I love
Here's
you,
what
Karen.
you prove.
Yeah.
Here's what you prove. Here's what you prove. Here's what you prove. Okay. You just because you once ate a croissant doesn't mean that you are entitled to say, I know how they roll them in Paris and how they make them and how they store them and how they ship them and how they wrap them and how they decompose at the dump. You don't know the life cycle of a fucking croissant, right? So let's bring it back into beans. I have never purchased, handled, or eaten a bean in my life, but I can tell you that you, who is a bean fucking influencer, is telling people the wrong thing. Okay, about your purchase habits. Okay? Okay.
Is that a title?
Case point, mooch and rap. What do you say it? Mooch. What do you say it? Crackmate. Checkmate. That's what you say. I got you.
I am not a bean influencer. I'm starting at the top of the crazy rant.
Look.
I'm starting in the middle of that rant, by the way. Nobody buys beans from a barrel. Nobody sticks their hands in beans. The only place you stick your hands, we don't talk about on this show. That is not happening.
I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you.
Tell me.
I am here to tell you about it. And this is how are you supposed to buy your beans otherwise? How do you think they do it at the factory? Tell me how you think they do this at the factory. Do they put the beans in some kind of special, I don't know, individual bean tub where you got to put?
You put them in a bag. You seal them in a plastic bag. They go on a shelf next to other lasts for. Hey, when you get your rice,
how they get in that bag?
I'm gonna stop you. When you get your rice, you're a rice.
You get it with a scoop. Except sometimes you stick your fingers in the rice.
Yeah, that. We're getting to the root of the problem.
No. Just to test it, to make sure it's okay.
We're getting
just a little.
We're at the root. Here we go. Your rice comes to you from a barrel as well?
Sometime if you get in bulk basmati, sure. You've bought bulk rice in a basmati scoop. Don't come at me.
Never. I don't buy food from barrels.
Why not?
Barrels. I don't barrel food shop. That barrel was for my friend Joel because his wife saw the word barrel and she says barrels. And we're like, I didn't even hear a word you said. I just saw your mouth open to swallow the house and say barrels.
It is fun to say.
Why
and
are
fun
you
to
buying
participate with?
food from an open barrel? I understand stealing 3 M&Ms as you're shopping from the bulk food section, which I told you last week by us does not exist anymore because of COVID. But that's it. That's the be all end all. No, I don't know what you're so confused about.
Everybody shops in the bulk area. Everybody does.
What
and
about
it's not gone away. It's not gone the way of the COVIDs.
what
it's still
about
here with us?
for you pasta?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you buy pasta from a barrel?
No, I'm not a fucking moron. I don't know what to say.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for
sold. It's not sold in a barrel. It's carefully packaged.
So are beans, so
From
is rice.
Italy. No.
So
First of
are
all,
beans and so is rice.
we grow beans here. Sorry, China. We
Here.
grow rice here. I don't get American pasta. No. I get my pasta as the Lord intended from Italy in a bag.
So you're
that
saying
came in a shipping box that someone else packed lovingly and sometime wrapped with bubble wrap. I've had pasta before arrive with bubble wrap around it.
delicate,
I still have
delicate
I still have
pasta.
it up in the closet. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do you have it in the
There's not
closet?
bulk fucking macaronis. Yes.
Do you have
I
it in the closet because it's special and you're waiting for a
That's-
good reason to use your awesome imported pasta?
that's my internet pasta, and I didn't want anybody just to grab it and start cooking it. So it's up on a high shelf that they can all reach, but I can't. So
I've
I don't feel
punished
like the system-
myself.
I don't think this system actually works the way I've intended. But yeah, but keeping it wrapped in bubble wrap is a good one because then I think I threw it up there.
I hid it
also.
from the children by putting it someplace
Actually, I bought
only
it.
they can reach.
I may have bought it 2 summers ago and forgot about it until this moment. But I did buy it, and I still have it.
You missed my point. And you
You had
hid
a
it
point?
somewhere that only other people can reach.
That's not my best.
You hid it from
habit.
yourself is what
I
you
know
did.
it. I know it. I do that a lot. Well, the hard part of my house is I'll say something like, "Can you get this for me?" It's on, it's on an eye level shelf on the left. And they come in and they go, "You mean this waist level shelf?" And I'm like, "Shut your face and get me my stuff." Okay, just get
Thanks
it.
for the help, jackass. Thank you so much. Hey,
I
Amy
still
did-
maintain that everybody buys food in bulk.
Nope.
In the bulk bins.
Nope.
And you guys are all just hating on me
Nope.
to have something to talk about
Nope.
because it makes your life so much more interesting
Hard
to have
pass.
a common enemy. And that person is me. Okay? I can take your slings and buffets. I can take them. I can.
I can't define them, but I can take them. That's fantastic. If you're wondering, Karen, thank you for your feedback. We love you,
I feel
and
like you're
you were
wrong.
100% right. Oh,
Nope.
by the way, the conversation, I answered her because I'm one who engages, and I said, yo,
Ugh.
that's what I said. Amy's fucking crazy, but we
Yo, that's what I said. Yo, Karen,
But-
thanks for your letter.
but we love her anyway. And Karen wrote
Okay.
back, I agree. A little crazy never hurt anyone.
How did I turn into the crazy bean influencer? I'm here to tell you.
That's a very
Then-
good question. How did this come to pass?
Another thing that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to go. How can I keep losing on this show? I'm a part of the leadership team,
Yeah.
and it's not serving me.
no.
Okay,
It's
I'm
not.
getting a lot of bean buffets,
You are.
and it's. I find it to be misplaced. This aggression.
Yeah.
Okay, because beans is life.
Okay.
Number one.
I'm torn right now between our second topic, which is either 30 seconds with Amy because you're already on a roll and on fire. So do I
God, oh
just
my
keep
God.
it going with sticking a timer under your face and letting
Hit it.
that work? All right.
Hit me. Hit it. I'm so ready for this shit.
This
You don't
topic
even- You
today,
can't even know it.
you are
You can't even know it.
going to name within the next 30 seconds as many of this topic as you can. It is brought to you today courtesy of my husband, who said, how about this topic? And I said, that's a terrible topic. He's like, oh,
Of course it is. Of course it is. I'm going to tank it.
No,
Fuck.
I don't know.
Positive. Think positive. Positive. All right. I'm ready. I psych myself up.
For the next 30 seconds, please name as many of you as you can of NFL teams.
What? Football teams?
Yeah.
The Ravens, the Chargers, the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pistons, the
I'm sorry, what was the, did you say
the Charms, the Texans, the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots, the Oilers, the shit wagon, the fucker, Florida Dolphins, the Lions, the Detroit Lions, the
All right, I'm gonna
California
stop you.
Rams.
Aren't they in Vegas now? I'm going to stop you there at a solid 7. I heard some hockey teams. I think I heard 2 basketball teams.
What?
I don't know how Edmonton got in there, of all places.
They're sports. They're sporters. There's the sports.
Okay. I'm going to say that was not wildly successful, but I also heard your pronunciation of the word Eagles that really made me nervous. Why?
The Eagles?
Why are you doing that?
Because they're the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what they are. You right, Mayor?
We're gonna need
go
an intervention, not just for the beans.
We're gonna go the whole way.
Okay, I guess the accent is fine. 7, I'm a little disappointed because it is season and you should be seeing Tampa Bay.
I've been watching them all. How do you think I knew about the Texans? Because I was like, who that Bill looking thing? That's not the Bills, is it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but it looked like a buffalo. What is it?
It
is it
looked
buffalo?
like a buffalo.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about these stupid outfits that they're wearing, and they're so bad.
Tatanka.
Okay.
Do you know the word?
The way to San Jose. Nope. That's why I have MapQuest.
We talked about that this weekend too. Do you remember when we had to go to MapQuest, or God help us, pull out a map? We talked about get out the map. And I looked at this guy and I was like, map? I don't do Rand McNally because I'd have to refold it. So if I'm traveling with somebody, I'll use that map.
But maps. Yeah.
Roll them. That's smart. Oh my God, that was so smart coming from the barrel lady. Barrel. Do you know the word layette?
Yes, of course. And I'm irritated that I somehow get bullshit from you about maps and beans and every other fucking thing in the world. I know a thing or two about the stuff in the world, Karen and friend. So I'm just trying to say, right? There's people out there who have purchased beans and will go on to purchase them still in this manner.
Yet none of them
with a modicum of delight.
Why did none of them
being able to loosely handle their dry good prior to purchase?
Why did none of them come to your defense, woman?
I don't feel like I have broad enough reach on this show to match the bean-eating public.
Fair. Dear listeners, I know you agree with me and not this crackhead, this beanhead. I would like you to tell all of your friends about our podcast. Ask them all this question, but make sure they like and subscribe and like, listen, whatever. Go to brilliantobservations@gmail.com, write us, or go to any place, tell them you're already here, that you find podcasts. They're fucking everywhere. 1,000 catchers. Pick one, subscribe your friends, and have them write in and say, Amy, you crackhead. You should not have loose anything in your cart when you are shopping and checking out at the store.
I went to the market this morning.
Go ahead.
I had people coming over here for lunch, and I had it all figured out.
Bean lunch?
I asked my husband. It was a bean-free lunch, thank you.
Okay.
I asked my husband last night, will you please make a run to this particular shop before it closes, because I just can't stomach doing it, and I don't have time than what he did. So I've already got multiple shopping trips in, went to the market on time this morning, got my goods, getting out of there in record time, super excited, go all the way through, chippy-chatty. Everybody wants to stop me. I also noticed, I don't know how I feel about this, 4 different store employees in the context, the body of the store. And this is a regular supermarket. This isn't Trader Joe's. This isn't a bougie place. This isn't a boutique-y one. The biggest shopping market that you have in the grocer that you have. 4 of the employees who were stocking shelves, who were doing whatever they were doing, all stopped to say, how are you today? Nice to see you. Oh, I like your glasses. And I thought, okay, it's a new fucking policy. So I started listening once this happened 3 times in a row, because I was like, why are you fucking talking to me? I mean, I would say like, good morning. I didn't smack him or anything like this. But it was just it's a total
You
new,
just started
weird.
throwing beans.
No, I looked, and they were only saying it to me. They didn't say it to the other shoppers. So I don't know if I was wearing like a please speak to me, it's my practice day, or what the fuck. But this isn't their new policy.
I'll tell you what it is.
I'm going to get in trouble again?
In the past.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You have maybe missed a scanned item underneath your cart, or
Okay.
set
okay.
ice
That's not
free.
It. That's not it.
Or
That's not it. That's not it. They're not clocking me. They were friendly. They were friendly. These were friendlies. I know when I'm being cased by security. I got up to the counter.
That happens too.
And I'm chippy chatting with this girl. She's so kind. I started to help her bag. And then I realized, I got to go around and stop helping to bag so I don't delay anybody when I take out my card that I did not bring into the store. I had nothing. No ID, no nothing. Everything's bagged up, ready to go. She's close to the total. And I got to look at her and say, hey, name tag. I left
villain name here.
My purchaser in the car. Let me run out and get that. She says, sure, okay. So go out to the car. Guess what's in the car? Nope, it's not in the car. It's at my house. I brought nothing. My bag is not in the car. Coat with money in the pockets, nothing. Checkbook, which I normally leave in the car, not in the car. We had cleaned out the car. So it's nothing. So I had to drive all the way home and then drive all the way back. And I didn't go back in to say, why don't you hold on to my stuff? Because I was like.
Oh, you just ran.
I left. So I came back, and don't you know, they had totaled everything up, bagged everything up, and put it to the side. So all I had to do when I walked in was present my card. I guess they did a special void where all the person, pressed 3 keystrokes, gave me the total, I paid her, I left. It was all ready to go. Isn't that nice?
You had no frozens in there, I assume.
I don't know what the fuck I had. I don't normally buy frozen food. I had a milk, and I had a. That's it. I had a milk. Do I have anything else? It's mostly produce that I get.
Oh, okay.
Produce, and then dry goods. And then, stuff from the dairy. I don't normally. What do you get in the frozen section? Nothing really.
Ice cream. Frozen
No, I don't
fruit.
normally buy that.
Okay.
Frozen fruit?
Yeah.
No.
For smoothies and stuff.
Nope.
Okay. The reason I asked you if you know what layette is.
Yes.
You want to define it for us first?
Well, a layette is a whole little ensemble that you have like a baby's layette, like you would have 5 or 6 to 10 to 12 pieces that are all coordinating. So it would include the booties and the onesie and then a little thing that goes on top and maybe a blanket. So the idea is that they've thought through everything that this individual
Tiny
might
individual,
need.
yeah.
You perhaps might have a bridal layette back in the day where they would
Okay.
put like all your bullshit together in one. But it's mostly for babies.
So I have 2 children, and at the birth of each, or prior to while pregnant, I went to this special store here that fleeces very pregnant women for all of their monies for the nicest, most beautiful, the softest baby clothes. And I left with a box, and my mother-in-law said, I would like to supply your layette. And when I was super young and had a baby, I said, my what? I didn't know. I was like, don't you just put them in like saran wrap until they're a size they're not growing anymore and just put them in one big sock until they grow up? That's not the case. I was quite naive. I was prepared for nothing. But I talked to a pregnant mom who said, I've never heard that word. I don't know what layette is. And I said, oh, I didn't really either. Then I realized she has 2 other kids and she's 42. And
No, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a 42-year-old who doesn't know layette.
Well, press hard. I found her. And I was surprised because, again, I didn't know at 20-something when I was little, because that's little to me. So I didn't know. But now at 42 and you've already had 2 kids, I just thought it was surprising. Dear listener, is that I don't know what kind of thing.
I don't know why you're asking them.
Is that
I don't know why you're asking them.
Mid-Atlantic?
I don't know why you're asking them. I don't know why you're asking
Northeast?
them and putting them in any kind of position of authority when they have already well demonstrated that they don't understand bead protocol. How are they possibly going to know retail fabric linguistics?
Please opine for me at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. I want to hear every thought you have on this topic. Or is it just like a spoiled privilege thing and everybody else
No.
goes to some mart and gets 2 outfits and you wash it in your Dreft and you put it back out? Is that another thing that's just us?
Miss Draft.
Do you remember that?
Draft.
Special laundry detergent for brand new
I miss
humans.
the smell of draft.
miss
And the thing that I miss about the smell of draft is that it only smelled of draft. It didn't smell of poop or little
Anything
boy
else.
underarms or dirt. I mean, they're very quickly with boys. They change from smelling like fresh little babies that don't even smell like humans. They just smell like babies. And then they smell like dreft for a little while. And then boys start to smell like dirt. The top of their scalp has a boy smell. And it smells like grass outside. It smells like dirt. It has a dirt scent. It just does. Even when you've scrubbed their scalp, you got to worry about that fontanelle. But I'm telling you, even after you've scrubbed it and it's clean, it still stink of dirt. That's the Jesus stank. That's the Lord's way. He puts a stank on them children so we can find them. That's what he does.
So we can find them.
Yes.
Do you know what I had a really easy week finding this week?
Oh, God.
The answers to the New York Times connections puzzle. Do you ever play that?
No, and I saw somebody served me an ad about connections and all their puzzles. I was like, no, I didn't bother. What is this?
Everybody's doing the Wordle where you have to guess the word.
I gave up on that.
The word.
No. No.
I also don't like things that too many people like. I mean, it's fun until somebody else is like, oh my God, we do this. And I'm like, zoop, done with you. Connections, they give you 16 words and they are scrambled on a grid and you have to find 4 that go together. You have
go together that they intersect or go together topically by content.
Yes, choice B. Topically by content. They could be things like ball, snowball, baseball. So the words on the thing would be snow, base, and you'd be like, ooh, these are all types of balls. Pickle. See, it wouldn't make any sense normally, right? Because pickle is a food. So in your head you go food, but the connection is ball. So there's
so you're guessing the word ball. They give you everything except that connector word.
You pick 1, 2, 3, 4. All go with the word ball. Or today was these 4 items are parts of a plane.
Ooh,
like there's the nose. So now you're thinking nose, not the nose of a plane. You're thinking nose on your face. So it does throw you, and it is fun. But you sit there and look at this grid I love it so much. I don't want anyone else to play it and ruin it for me, but I love it so much, and my kids do it.
Good thing you're broadcasting it here. Make it wildly popular. That's all right. I don't think that our listeners really have time for anything other than devoting their lives to writing in and chastising me. So
that's all I ask of
the show. Yep, that's 1 hour out of the day, and then the remaining day is spent thinking, how can we tell her she's wrong? Well, the joke's on you because I don't listen.
Well, I asked for it and I endorse it. So I love you guys. Keep up the good work. Feel free to weigh in on that rice and pasta situation too. All in.
At least that has a scoop.
So New York Times connections, I'd like to encourage you to do that. I would like to. It's fun. Okay. It's an opportunity to move my brain, which has been very steadily stagnant for just far too long. So I like it. I like it a lot. You want to talk about behavior being language.
I do.
Is what you are doing. I got you. What you're doing, what is that saying to other people?
So I was moving through the world this week. Yeah. And, not unlike that time in the supermarket when everybody was behaving so strangely, right?
Did we get to the bottom of that? They were just being friendly?
I don't know.
They just like your glasses?
Because at Trader Joe's, they are instructed to ask you about something in your cart. What are you making? To start a chit chat, to compliment something you're buying. Like it's part of their training. So I thought, is my store doing this bullshit liars social club as well? And I just hate it. And then meanwhile, I was like, I got irritated because I noticed that a dude who was following like in the same aisles as me, you know how you kind of go on a map. So I was following around the same footsteps. Yeah. Nobody was talking to him. Nobody. They weren't saying, good morning. They weren't saying, excuse me. Nothing at all. And I don't know how to feel about it.
Did he have AirPods in or headphones or any?
No.
Can you tell me what
I just gotta say, everybody who said hello to me was white, and I am white. And this dude was not white. And he did not get a hello.
It's a Southern thing.
I don't think it is a Southern thing.
No?
I don't think it is a Southern thing. They were young people, old people, distracted people, hardworking people, lazy people. They were all the people at the supermarket. And it could not. I am telling you that I was looking for a reason to put a pattern on this behavior because it was weird. And they didn't say hello that I could tell to anybody else. I didn't really walk around and say, you going to say hello to him? You going to say hello to her?
I would love to see you do that.
I didn't do any of that stuff, but the dude who was closest to me didn't get a hello. And he's hello worthy. So I don't know. And it's just, I'm paying attention to behavior, especially because I have, I was going to say 3 teen boys. I don't have 3 teen boys anymore. The oldest is 21. He's long since stopped being a teen.
He sure has. I'm like, that's
well,
not a teen.
chronologically anyway. All right. So I've been paying attention to behavior, right? It's almost as if behavior is its own language. You know how we talk about love languages, those 5 languages that, and somebody says there's a 6th love language. Okay, whatever. I think behavior is a language. The way people behave around you is communicating something to you. It's communicating interest, engagement, how much they love you, how much maybe they don't have time for you. And that can be big or little, because over time, never having time for you is a bigger communication. Never having time for you, even when it's inconvenient, that speaks to love. Not having time for you when it's inconvenient speaks to inconvenience. I got a lot of shit that I'm doing. I can't take care of all of this today. You are not highest priority on this list. And everybody, even people that you love, can be low priority in a given day, given your priorities of the day. So it's not that kind of thing. I don't subscribe to this plan where they say, the people who don't check in on you, you've been having a tough time and they don't check in on you for months at a time.
They hate
Write
you,
'em off.
right? They
Write
hate
'em
you.
off.
Fuck them.
Write them off. And I'm like, okay, just sit down. Okay, just fucking sit down. People get busy. They forget what's going on.
Time passes so quickly. Yeah.
If you have such a one-way relationship that you're sitting around holding your phone, waiting for someone to text you and say, how are you? Because you can't be bothered to say, shit's really bad in my life right now. Help me, friend. When your friend goes and says, oh, okay, I'll call you next week, and then they don't to that text, that's different than when you're having some kind of a moment and you expect everybody else to be on your wavelength, tapped in to exactly whatever silent shit is going on in your head, which may not even be real anyway. So I don't buy into this idea that all behavior has to be completely binary. It's either 100% good or 100% bad. Like, it's not about that. But I am taking a bigger interest in what other people's behavior does and communicates to me, but more importantly, what I'm communicating to my family and to my kids. Because I'm having a lot of inconvenience right now. I'm having a lot of can't get to that right now, can't do that right now. Because the priorities very clearly don't have you on the list. And then I sort of stopped myself and thought, you know what? You better shuffle that list. Because sometimes things that are low priority for the day, in the grand scheme of things, are higher priority than anything else. So I've just been pondering about that for a little while. I wonder what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that this is coming up, as I have a friend who's in crisis, like the full-blown, totally crazy, over-the-top crisis. I have a trip planned for Tuesday, and I've had this trip planned, and she is a bigger priority. And I'm kind of setting stuff up or making sure things are set up so I can eke out of town and come back and jump right back in. But again, it's last week. It's go with grace. I spent 2 days taking to the bed, right? Figuring out how I can best support this human. And I had nobody here to say, it's going to be okay. I had no support. All of my friends work. They are not available. They're in other time zones. And I wanted support for my level of support. Like, it's crazy. No, I didn't turn around and say, they're not real friends if they can't be. So there is grace that needs to really just spread it a little thinner with that. Like, just keep spreading it out. You don't know. And to your point, if you are going through something, ask for help. Please don't make your friends guess that this is when you are needed. Speak up. Squeaky wheel it. How do you think Amy got 4 repairmen for the same appliance? She is the squeakiest wheel in the burrito.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I came off really bad in that appliance conversation, and I didn't want to so much.
No, they fucked up time.
No, but I'm not that kind of person. There's a way to have a difficult conversation without emotion and without, massive blame, to have accountability without focusing on blaming and shaming and all the rest of it. And I didn't do any of that stuff until I was 3 steps deep. And then it came. So I'm just trying to clear my name a little bit.
But I still didn't tip him.
No, well, I would never fucking tip him. Are you kidding?
Hey, I'm teasing you. It's literally my job.
So I just want to say this is another thing. So I left a message because I was so at the end of my rope, and the message was one of these, can you please? Okay. Like I super did all that shit on the message. And the woman called me back, and she was sweet as pie and straightforward and said, I'm sorry that this has happened. We have shuffled things around. We're doing this. Here's what we can do, and blah, 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 blah. And before she even started to get into it, I said, I just want to say first of all, thank you for returning my call. I know I was, I don't remember what I said, but I said some really great word. It was going back a couple weeks now. This shit's been going on for months, by the way. This has happened before Christmas.
Wow.
This is how long we've had to wait for parts and bullshit. And the washing machine leaked onto my ceiling, now requiring drywall repair. Yeah, so I haven't been able, and with the leak was going on so long, the water company came and said, we did a spot check on your house because your water has been excessively high while you were overseas, and it was fucking leaking because Clown Around Johnny didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Yeah.
I love that they did that.
I had cause to be pissed. So anyway, I said to her, I don't think I said like I was a real butt, but I said something along the lines of, I know I was really, it was better than saying like I was snotty, but I said something that like pointed the finger directly at myself in like a cute word that's also really mean. And I said, I'm embarrassed about it. Even when I hung up, I thought I wish I hadn't done that. I'm so grateful that you called me back. You don't deserve that. I think I communicated my frustration pretty well, but I didn't need to do it in that way. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she was just laughing and laughing and laughing. Because you know that shit is like talk of the water
Oh, my God.
cooler.
Yeah, it's fodder for the next week.
They have like at their Christmas party, I'm sure they keep all the fucking bitch-ass voicemails and play them one by one in front of the Christmas tree. Remember that horrible? Yeah. Remember when we broke her washer just because? Ha, 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 ha. Because she was so mean on the phone. Anyway.
Do you think you're going to make that same call to the car dealership to make sure they get and stop cleaning it with a greasy rag?
No, I told him that was at the end of he had done a wonderful service job, and he said, we've done everything for you. We finished early. It's ready. I said, this is so fantastic. I can't believe it. And he goes, the only thing we haven't done is wash it. Do you want to wait for us to wash it? And that's when I said, well, you remember last time it didn't really get done properly. So is it the same system, the same team in place? Because if that's the case,
no.
And then he said, yeah, it's the same team. Maybe I'm not going to
Sounds like
it.
he knows that he has a problem on
right.
that scene.
So I'm just trying to say, so that was a him problem. That was not a me problem. But anyway.
This past weekend we went to the shore for like an overnight getaway. We just to be able to
clear the fucking air.
We've had pretty intense stuff going on here. So just to shake some of it off, we went to the beach and we invited a couple to come with us who has not traveled there with us before. The wife has, but like as a couple, it was so nice. And my husband said, as we got in the car to leave, we both left this morning, we came home, and he says to me, do you think they had a good time? Are you married to a human that is really focused on making sure everybody has a good time?
No, 100% no. You know that. You've met him.
I don't. He's always
nope.
He's always looking to make sure I have a good time. So
he's an excellent host. He's an excellent husband, and he knows how to entertain and to throw a party, but he wouldn't question it after the fact. I think it's just understood that excellence was achieved.
So arrogance plays a role
no,
there?
I think he would be more likely to say any of the following. Man, that was a great party. Oh, we all had so much fun. Whew, I'm glad that's over. You know, that however it went, it would be a commentary on the collective. It wouldn't be, do you think it was like in the same way that sometimes you serve dinner and it's the most spectacular thing you've ever served? You don't say, how are you enjoying it? I hope you like it. Is that it's actually rude to say, are you like your meal? How do you like it? Because what are they going to fucking say? It sucks. No. So in any event, I'm not sure when he would ever say, do you think they had a good time? We all pretty much have raucous times. But still, he's also, your husband has, it's difficult to describe it.
It was so sweet. It was like he had just put on a play and then everybody went home and he's like, did they like the play? Like it was,
right.
I don't know. It was sweet and innocent.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Yes,
he had just finished telling me like we were just finished talking about what a great time we had. Like wow, it was really nice to be away. And for us, it was like full 24 hours not thinking about just a shit situation, a shit sandwich, like the whole shit factor. And, just to be able to exhale for 7 minutes. And we were like, oh, that was so great to be able to. Do you think they had a good time? And I thought, that's really sweet. And
It super is.
and
very
yeah,
sweet.
I think they did. They said they did. It was lovely. Like I don't know anybody else who's more concerned about other people's ability to enjoy their experiences than my spouse. At times, I also don't know anybody who cares less about my experience than my spouse. So it's a beautiful 1-2 punch. And yeah, ladies, all the ladies, louder now. Help me out. You want to find a man who cares about your experience and that of others, and not just, yeah, I kicked the keg, like that kind of thing. That's great. Hey, as an aside, the couple who came, the husband, not so much on the drug factor, and to go to sleep, Melissa medicates. Mommy's
These days. Yeah.
my children say mommy's sleepy medication. I was like, yo, I'm not a pusher, but if there's anything you want to try, and yeah, we had a really, really good time.
Everybody slept.
Everybody went night-night. It was a really good time. It was good because we hit a certain age where each one of us has something that just hurts.
Yeah.
And I take a little CBD, THC combo, and everybody there was feeling much less pain. Well, my husband doesn't partake in any joy, but much less pain. And I thought, I really like pain-free grown-ups, adults. Like, how do we get to the answer is weed? This has been brought to you by THC.
Mariska Hargitay. Okay.
No, so last year, a year and a
Yes,
half
ma'am.
ago, almost 2 years, your son was in the depths of the pandemic and everybody was losing their, I don't know, milestones. I didn't get to go to the prom. Fuck you. Prom's fine, but you don't need to stop with the whining. There's a pandemic. People are dying. During that pandemic, you had a child hit 16 and a half, and his rite of passage came too. Not the prom, but getting his license.
Yes.
He was He was ushered through that on a conveyor belt of joy, saying, you know what, dude? Here's your license. You don't have to take that road test. Go on with your day. And we were all like, wait, what? You're just handing out licenses without...
Well. So here's how it went. He had his 16th birthday was April of 2020. So March of 2020 is really when America discovered COVID. February is when it was rampant in America, but March is when we decided to shut every fucking thing down. So come April, when he had been waiting and ready to go get his license, no. And I don't even remember if it was the permit or what. I think it was his permit application. So I've lost track if it was the permit or whatever. But something was supposed to happen in April, and he was prevented from doing so, right? So we had to wait a year before they would even allow visits. You remember how everything got snarled up with the government? It took so long to get anything, passports,
worse than a real ID.
Anything that you needed. Yes, all that stuff got pushed back. So it was over. It must have been his proper license. So over a year and a half later, he's fully 17 and a half, still on a permit, right? Still on it. And this is the kind of child who doesn't really follow the law. So permit's all I need. Brown. Like, it was just a bad scene. We got to get this kid a license. That's when state of North Carolina says, well, we're not going to put our instructors in danger by putting them one-on-one in a car with the unwashed masses for 20 minutes all day long and having our instructor unwittingly spreading COVID to everyone else. Like, it was a COVID reality. You couldn't have two people in a closed car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just didn't figure out how to do that yet, even with masks, even with whatever.
6 feet,
So like,
6 feet. All right, I'll be in the trunk.
They suspended the part where... So they said, we can't grant licenses because we can't do a road test with you. And then they just decided, this shit's not going away, and we're getting a big backlog, and I'm kind of tired. Fuck them. What do you think? Let's just give it to them.
COVID fatigue.
So then they said, okay, magically, you guys just don't need a road test. Poof, you're ready. So he got his license with no road test ever. Never. They just officially gave him his license. Okay, this child has the luck of the Irish. He's only a quarter Irish, and he is the luckiest streak. He's the one that went to the dentist because I was so mad that time.
Late.
And then the dentist said, "Oh, your appointment's not until later, or the dentist's not coming in." I was enraged with him over being late for missing a class at school 2 weeks ago because he told me I'm not going to be late for class. He got in trouble with being late in fall. This was a new leaf. And then it was this huge knockdown, drag out in the rain, finally in a terrible storm, finally yelled and screamed his way all the way over there only to learn that she said, it's so bad outside. If you guys showed up, I'll give you extra credit.
Oh
but
my
everybody
God.
who stayed home doesn't have an absence against them.
Oh
so
my God.
he is the luckiest ball of bouncing fucking fluff that you could ever have in your life. Cut to his younger brother who works really hard, has enormous advantages, and works really hard to advance them. Hard work is the name of what this kid does, okay? Totally prepared, organized everything down to the last detail so that he could get his permit in time, to do the ticking clock in time, to get his license in time, right? Got his hair cut the day before.
Knowing there was a license picture being taken.
Knowing there's a license picture and coordinated with me to get the haircut.
The $75 haircut?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Made it happen. Made it all happen. It wasn't $75, by the way. I must have bought product that day. The haircut,
okay.
I paid attention this time. It was $50, but still, that's still too much. So anyway, yeah, and then you got to tip him.
Right.
And,
right.
So it's close enough. Walk in to get your license. Get all the way through it. And she says, oh, ma'am, he's not going to be able to drive for his license today. And let me tell you why, is what she says, right? Just staring at me. And I get a big old smile on my face. I just stand there smiling like the village idiot. And I say, why is that? We've changed the law effective January 1st.
Oh, my God.
So he is unable to sit until March. We've extended it from 6 because it was reduced to a 6-month window, and now it's expanded, all still in response to COVID, right? Unbelievable. And on the ride home with no license, the kid is just processing. I had set this up so I could have my license for the weekend.
Right.
So I have my haircut.
Right.
So blah, 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 all the fucking things. Oh, my God. Later in the day, he says, didn't they tell us when we got my permit that this was going to be an issue, but I was grandfathered in? Didn't they say that to us?
That's amazing.
And I said, I don't remember, but I mean, I know that they told us we could come back right around your birthday and it wouldn't be a problem. Do you think they were just being optimistic? And he said, no, I don't. So then he went and researched on the website where it says quite plainly, if you have your whatever by June 30th, then you can do it on your birthday. If not, you got to wait another 4 months. And sure enough, he had gotten his on June 12th.
Okay. Excellent.
So now we're going to go back and fight the fucking man.
Do it.
And see if they'll give him the fucking license. But now I got to go there twice, which is such a pain in the neck. I don't like it over there.
Bring snacks. That could be a while.
Mariska Hargitay. I'm sitting by myself. The waiting area was too full for us to sit next to each other. So my son is somewhere, and I'm sitting by myself. And then a guy gets up, so now I have a seat open next to me. And someone comes and sits down, and I think, okay, that's my son. So as soon as he sits down, I lean over and I go, that's the noise I made. Because I was about to start talking to my son, and then I realized, you a stranger, you not my son. And you 6 feet tall black man. You totally not my son. So then I went,
and
so that's what I did.
And what did he think you were about to do to him?
He looked at me as if to say, may I help you? And instead, I blurted out and I said, I thought you were my son. And I looked at him. I said, you're not my son. I was going to start talking to you like my son. You're not my son. Look. And I took out a picture of my son and showed it to him. I said, look, you don't even look like him. And he goes, no, ma'am. And now he's just laughing like, what kind of fucking Friday morning crackheads did I get in the place? And he's just shuffling and chuckling. And I said, I think maybe, is it the shoes? Is it the pants and the shoes? And he goes, we're both wearing pants and shoes. And now at this point, At this point, the whole row is shaking. All the chairs in the fucking thing are shaking. Well, I told you this the other time I tried to pick up my eldest
Yes,
son at
ma'am.
school.
We are both wearing shoes and pants.
I tried to pick up my eldest son, and I pulled up, and I honked the horn, toot, toot, come on. And then before I yelled out his name, I realized it was a tiny Chinese girl who was sitting cross-legged. And I thought, and then I laughed really loud. Because she had, like, long hair, and he had long hair, and I obviously need to get my eyes checked because I can't tell my children from any race.
I like your glasses. Do they
I'm
work?
a globalist. I'm a globalist. The guy in the supermarket today said, hey, I really like those glasses.
Do they work?
Come on. Come on now. Come on now.
Yes,
Come
ma'am.
on now.
Yes, ma'am. We both wear pants and shoes. That is how we are similar. A
Look.
tiny Asian girl and your son,
Yeah.
who's like
yeah.
6 feet,
He
dirty
likes to
blonde
sit
hair.
like a monkey. You know how he liked to wrap himself all up in those weird seated positions, right? She was doing that. She was all twisted up, like looking down at her phone and something. I thought it was his shape generally. I need a
I
little
guess
help.
that would be like if I saw a human walking slightly hunched over, because
Sure.
nobody in my family has posture, period, to brag about. I can always find in any picture. You had the picture from your kid in Prague. If you looked at it and saw somebody like a question mark, that's my family member.
That's the one.
They drew a picture, a sketch from a picture of your kid and friends. And if I saw a sketch of anybody in my family, they would all be question marks. Immediately, I know our posture. Anybody keeping track at home, I would like you to know that it is going to be this week 104 degrees in Sydney, Australia, where my oldest is spending 4 months. So he...
Real degrees or Celsians?
I really wish my laugh wasn't so quiet.
You know what I'm trying to ask? You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
It is Fahrenheit. It is 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Real degrees.
The Celsians are not invited. Their opinion has not been asked on this topic. Oh my God. And yeah, so he was at like Bondi Beach, and he took pictures and sent videos, and he's living his best life. And I am so happy for him. I want you to know, to exercise our canines at the beach, we walk each of them for like 1.25 miles, 1.33 miles, really. It was like 11 degrees when we woke up, and I said, 3 layers, let's go. Like, these dogs still need their exercise. Just because we are indoor cats does not mean these dogs do not need to move their bodies. So we still did the walk, but the only good thing is that your tears and your snot dry. So if it were cold, your nose would run, you'd be miserable, you'd have to wash your gloves, the cuff at the end of your sweatshirt, in addition to all the tissues you used, and be sure to take them out before putting them in the laundry, because used tissues, any tissues going through the laundry just makes everything so much worse. The Celsians would not approve. So
It's true.
but when you go out in that cold of a weather, everything freezes and you're chippable. You could just chip off anything that you wanted to take off your face. Just so you know, 104 degrees in Sydney, Australia. Greece is pretty lovely too. I saw a picture of my daughter having a scoop of ice cream with some sort of decorative bear cookie on the top of it. Yeah, they're living their best
Nice.
lives. Yeah. It's great.
That's why we do it.
Yes.
That's why we do it.
Yes, so they're going to leave me. But that's fine. That's fine. I understand. I want them to leave me. It means I did a good job. Pat, pat, pat. You did a good job. Brian,
That's right.
I did a good job. Come
do you
closer.
think? Do you think they had a good time?
Do you think they had fun? Do you think they had a good
Do you
time?
think they had fun in their childhood?
I hope. I don't think he's asked me that about our kids, but company-wise, yeah. He asked, after the huge birthday party he threw for me, do you think everybody had a good time? You're a wonderful
Yes.
host, sweetheart. You're a wonder. Yes, it was great. Do I not say that enough? Am I not complimentary enough? Is this my flaw?
Maybe he's just doing an after-action report. I mean, it could
Okay,
just be
that's
part
fair.
of his. It could just be part of how he's wired, right? Post-mortem is part of the job.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I really needed to laugh. I will consult with the Celsians and let them know from whatever planet they come. Dear listener, it is time. I feel like Mr. Rogers at the end of his show. He switches back into his travel shoes and his travel sweater, and he heads back out and he says, "Won't you be my neighbor? You are my neighbors. I am grateful for you. Amy is grateful for you. A little less when we pick on her, but when she hangs up, she is still very grateful and giving you the bring it on face. Like she's ready for more. She wants all of your bulk food criticisms ASAP. Rocky.
I
Spit it out. I think the word you're looking for is Celsius, but go ahead.
The reality is I am right and they are wrong, and I'm simply looking for bean confluence, okay? I'm just looking for it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the fellow
When
beaners.
did I become a bean influencer? Yesterday. Last week.
In the world?
We love you. Thank you for turning us on. I hope we turned you on in some way, although I cannot imagine how. We love you so much. Come again next week. We'll make sure it is 2/3 funnier, and I'll tell you why.
And possibly bean free. Oh, why? Am I not going to be on it?
Then there's no way it would be funny. The day after tomorrow, my fine feathered bean friend, and I travel to a conference, often known as She Podcasts, and we are going to be together. We are going to upset many people, and we will.
I mean, I don't want to, but yeah.
Comes naturally. Come on, girl. And we will share with you how we have disrupted the entire state of Florida. So
bring it.
Come back. We promise it'll be worth your time. Bring friends. Love you.
I love you, boy.
Bye.
That was the thing I didn't want to do because now you're going to use it against me because it's super gross. Don't put that in. Nobody likes